There we are live, and we are live here on Instagram. Welcome to the Domesticated Podcast Live. I'm your host, Pat George. We stream every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can join in live. You can pound off in the comments on Instagram Live. That's what we like to say here. You can also ask to join on Instagram Live. And I will, if I click on your thing, then you will be audio only on the YouTube clip or the YouTube video. I apologize, which is the only video that I save. At the end of the Instagram Live, I do erase that video. So whatever is gone in that, whatever happens in that chat eventually just gets erased, at least on my end. I don't know if it's saved somewhere else. Karen's joining in the chat. How's it going, Karen? And I just wanted to remind everybody if you are watching this video, please hit like. I would really appreciate that. And also make sure you subscribe to the page. If you hit the little bell notification thing, you'll get notifications anytime we do go live or anytime there's a new video from Falls Count Anywhere is featured on here, which is a wrestling show featuring a couple of friends of mine, Manny and Youngblood. And those guys talk every Monday. There's actually a new episode coming out this afternoon, so you can check that out. The playlist has past episodes also of GDP. Also, Proper Ebonics comes out, and also past episodes of Hacks. New episodes coming soon. Hopefully, we're going to start filming soon, as long as we don't freeze our asses off. Also, the episode of Strong Words with Ian Strong that I've been talking about for forever, it feels like, is finally out. I'm very excited. I can't wait to listen because I forget I forget how the list goes exactly, but I love sharing my list and hearing everybody else's and everything and kind of figure out how it all get compiled together because there was multiple people voting, and these are some cool movies that I grew up watching, so it's fun to watch. We rate all the View Askewniverse movies, which are all the movies directed by Kevin Smith, featuring on-screen appearances by Jay and Silent Bob. So that's Mallrats, Clerks, all the classic ones, but also Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, the reboot. We did not do the animated movie, but it's pretty cool. Chasing Amy, stuff like that. Dogma. Oh, I love Dogma. That was great. I can't give a sneak. It's out now, so just go listen. Strong Words with Ian Strong. Also, just real quick, I want to talk about my buddy Andy's podcast that I do, or the podcast that me and Andy do. It's really, I feel like hitting its stride. Ian, I was just talking about you, buddy. I told everybody to check out the show. Here, yeah, come on in, buddy. He's asking to join. Ian Strong's coming in. Hold on, let me turn the audio up a little. There we go. Ian Strong. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
I heard my name on the Instagram universe, and I figured, they must be talking about my show.
Yeah.
So,
dude,
what's up, man?
I forget. I nothing much. I mean, how are you doing? You're not driving, are you?
No, I'm currently parked. I'm actually at work. I had about 5 minutes, and I saw that you were streaming, and I'm like, what's Pat George doing today?
Perfect timing. Well, I'm telling you what I'm going to be doing later on when I'm eating lunch. I'm going to be listening to the latest episode of Strong Words with Ian Strong. That's for
I literally just finished it myself. I have to say, it's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, good. Do I sound like a complete dumbass? Because I felt like I was like, I don't know. I didn't I had the list on my phone. I had some notes, but these guys, I feel like one of them was a teacher. I was going up against a teacher. I mean, not against. We weren't going against each other, but I feel like it was a nice spirited debate about white guy cinema.
Here's my thing. So the guy that's a professor that was on the show, among the panelists that were on talking about the View Askew movies, I've been friends with that guy since I was 16 years old, but I stopped being friends with that guy when I was old enough to realize he's kind of an asshole. and he's not going to see this, so I can say that. But I purposely include him in those discussions because of the fact that he provides such a difference of opinion and to the conversation. Because I have Dan Fried on the show about a quarter of the episodes, and because he's my best friend, of course we're going to have a lot of sharing opinions.
Yeah.
And he brings something to the conversation in contrast to the point where, spoiler alert, you had Dogma as your number one favorite movie, and he hated that movie.
It was his. Didn't he say he wished he didn't even have to? He wished he couldn't even rate it or something like that. He said something along the lines of I this was like my least favorite. Like where mine, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy that like
he literally said, "I will never watch this movie again."
Yeah, and we never didn't have like he was even saying stuff that was like it was normally Ian. They're your friends and everything like that, but normally I would probably slap somebody on the mouth once they said George Carlin wasn't funny. I was like, he was hilarious in that movie as the sleazy priest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I was trying to explain the fact that George Carlin being cast as a Catholic cardinal is so ironic. That's what makes it funny.
That's the joke. Him in the movie as that character is the joke. Like that's funny the whole time.
Yeah.
And every time they reference how sleazy he is and how much of a like all the personal judgments that I felt like kind of leaked through Kevin Smith's writing in that movie into George Carlin, and then also even second-handedly being referenced by like Selma Hayek and what's her face Fiorentino,
Linda Fiorentino.
Like later on when they're like, of course he's the kind of asshole that you know, like they're still fucking digging at this guy. Like I love the whole time. You know what I mean? It's a great. Look at him. Doesn't he just pop Buddy Christ? You know what I mean? Like that's hilarious. Like I don't know. So listen to like that's a little sneak preak. What am I saying? Preview and peek at the same time, you know.
And I do that too.
And I also look forward. We've been talking a little bit. Like obviously you're a guy that loves to be proactive about your content and have lots of stuff banked. So you said you're actually set for a while. So, but we are going to get. I know we're going to get to. Actually, honestly, I would love to have you on here as an official guest. If you ever want to be on like with the Zoom or anything like that.
We actually talked about that after we finished doing the View Askew Universe one, and I'm totally down. Any time that it fits in our mutual schedule, which normally whenever I check out your live stream, it's during my lunch period when I have like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we can, figure something out for us to talk about something. Because, like, I genuinely enjoy, especially because of having you on my show, we have such similar opinions about things. And like, I know I pounded off in the comments one day.
That's right.
That I genuinely felt like I made a new friend that day because we literally spent like 2 hours after we were done recording off the air talking about like just whatever, and it felt like it was a podcast that we were talking about stuff that people should hear, but Wrestle Pat Live. Oh man. We were talking about stuff that I think people would genuinely be entertained by, and that's why I had texted you over the weekend about coming and doing an episode of my show one-on-one because I feel like there's so much in our collective minds that needs to be sifted, and what better way to do that than by making people hear it?
And also, you don't know, like my biggest thing is like actually one of the topics that we're talking about today is something that is prevalent in my life. I feel like my whole life. I don't know if I just have a shitty, weak, small bladder or whatever it may be, but I like it's one of those things that like you don't realize the connection that people have to stories or the similar stories or what stories of yours are truly interesting until you finally like tell somebody and they're like, what the like I said, some of the stories we were sharing back and forth again, not all for air. You be the judge. You bring whatever you want to, but basically anything, like you said, anything and everything we talked about that day absolutely would make great fucking content for either one of us.
Well, and going in line with what you were just talking about, I came on a show that you produced, the Falls Count Anywhere podcast, and spent like 25 minutes talking about how I shit myself in the ring during a show in front of hundreds of people.
We have a lane,
So it's the same story, but it's totally different circumstances and different waste.
Right. Exactly. And that's.
But it happens to all of us.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it happens to all of us, and like I said during the Falls Count Anywhere podcast, like pissing yourself or shitting yourself, it's like as an adult, it's always a story.
Yeah.
Like it's never like an accident or like there's always like an interesting story to it, and
because there's so many elements to it. With adult life, you have so many parts of your life where you're like there's so many different because there's so many other people that are involved. When you're a kid, you're like, oh, I didn't realize I had to piss, and like I'm scared of the person that has the key. You know what I mean? Like, or something like something weird like that, or like, oops, I was too busy. I was too enamored with this toy, and I was just like, uh-oh, I waited too long. I gotta shit right now, and you shit yourself in a store or something like that. You know what I mean? Like.
Or like yesterday, I
stories.
drove 5.5 hours without stopping because I have to. Mentally, I was like, I'm preparing to be home, and like I really had to piss. I had a big breakfast before I pissed with some future podcast guests of my show, and like I had this half-gallon empty bottle of Turkey Hill iced tea that I was like, maybe I will try to piss in this while driving, and I discovered that. I'm getting kind of personal here, but it's GDP. My dick isn't long enough when it's flaccid to be able to successfully pull off driving while urinating,
and
even into a large amount.
And it's very cold right now.
Well, in my car, it was nice.
Okay.
I mean, I'd been in there for hours, so it was.
I have poor circulation, I think, because I feel like if I go to touch it, it's gonna go like no. That's what my dick does, at least, you know. Again, hey, you got personal, I got personal.
I don't know if like trying to like stretch the hose so that I didn't dribble on myself like made it impossible for me to like flow through my urethra. Like I don't know the physiological things I was doing to my dick.
Well, that's the thing. That's the scary thing is the fact that you're like, oh my God, like I have to go. I have to go.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and then once it starts, that's my problem, and that's I think where I'm gonna get down to the exact root, exactly what is wrong with me. I feel like, but I wait too long.
We all have those little nuances. Like I didn't realize that I never took shit. I never took a shit the whole weekend that I was in Ohio recording podcasts until like my bowels recognized that I turned on the street that my home is on. And it was like, oh yeah, like
it was like a dog in the window. It was like,
yeah, like, familiar toilet? There's a familiar toilet?
Is there a toilet? Oh yeah, you don't have the right key. No, that's not the right key, but you won't know that until you get to the door.
You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, I got to get going to back to work, but I'll probably jump in here whenever we take our lunch break if you're still streaming. But
I'll be on at least until 1 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be back probably during lunch. We can talk more about shitting and pissing, or we can talk about Kevin Smith or whatever it is that you're talking about. We don't even have to talk. I'll just enjoy what you do because I already do.
Absolutely, buddy. And I appreciate that, and I enjoy what you do. I can't wait to listen to the episode and how it came out. I love the music that you sent, the little teaser you gave me, and I'm excited. This guy does everything. Strong Words with Ian Strong. He does the music. He does the episodes. He does the interviews. He does everything, and I love you, buddy. I hope you have a safe day. Be safe. Have fun. All that.
Ditto. I'll right back at you, buddy.
I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Sounds good.
See ya.
I don't want to hang up on you now. Please, understand this, okay?
Oh, man. What a great guy. Love that guy. He is somebody that I have met up here that's again, he's a man of a bunch of talents, a man of many talents. He plays music, he plays plays instruments. He plays music. He also plays instruments. Both of those things. No, he podcasts. He's a wrestler, an ex-pro wrestler, I believe, semi-pro wrestler. He's got some great wrestling stories. And even if you're not if you're not super familiar with wrestling, they're just, like he said, I had a wrestling mishap with himself where he shot himself. He shot his wrestling self. So, but we're not here to talk about shitting yourself today. That's gross. We're here talking about when you've pissed yourself today. Or almost. You could say almost pissed, because if it's I think I labeled that wrong too. This is not. We will have an update on the haunting. I don't know if anybody actually watched the haunting videos also. I want to do that. I wanted to make sure I shared this before I forgot. Yeah, definitely. Just set that. Can I rename it? Probably can't. But we were talking about accidentally pissing yourself almost pissing yourself, funny piss yourself stories because and I will give a little bit of information. Sorry, I can't multitask. There we go. All right, so, and we're also going to be talking about, we got the Spotify contenders update. We got some artists that have been eliminated and more artists that have been added, and more ones that are up for consideration. So if you have any other artists, John says, I would like to join at 12 o'clock hour to talk about my favorite piss myself story. Absolutely, John. You are more than welcome to join in the chat. I know Karen was also saying that I think she wanted to join in because she had some piss your pants stories as well. I will fix the title after the video is done. As usual, we talk about different things here in GDP, and we're down for pissing yourself, shitting yourself, ghosts, anything you want. But also, mainly the reason I wanted to talk about this particular topic was because Friday's stream, pun intended, just like the post, I had an issue where, when you do, well, Karen, you're more than welcome to pound off here, or you can join in the audio. Either way, John says he wants to join in at 12 o'clock hour. I know Ian's going to come back with some piss stories. Anybody that is your piss story, join in on IGLive at Baby Mermaid Productions, and I will be happy to, you can join in. I will accept your thingy, and we can talk about your piss story and whatever. Whenever, if you have one little quick piss story, if you have a couple hours of piss stories, let's do it. I mean, I don't give a shit. Let's fucking get into it, because I had a very humbling experience on Friday. I waited too long. Now, it is ironic too, because I don't know if anybody, now the stream from Friday is also entitled the same as this right now. So if you are watching this because you're here for haunting stories, you are also, that particular stream ended with me having to make a quick decision to end it about 14 or 15 minutes early and run downstairs to try to piss. I wanted to run downstairs. Our bathroom is downstairs, and I wanted to. If you'll notice near the end of the episode, again, if you reference that episode, near the end of the episode, I am shifting a lot of my chair. I'm just, because I'm. It's the same thing I do when I'm driving. It's the same mistake that I make when I'm driving. Is like if I relieve the pressure a little bit. Or what, I don't know what it is exactly, if it's my belly kind of sitting on my bladder, because I still got a belly, even though I've thinned out quite a bit, there's still a little bit of gut there. And also, I think I have a weak, small bladder. That's the problem. And I don't judge it correctly. And I like to stay hydrated. That's the irony of that episode. The last episode, the last stream that I did, where Dominique was here, we mentioned that I needed her oftentimes to talk, so I was able to drink. And I needed to drink. And that's where we established drink drops. Stuff like this.
Take it easy. And stay off my side.
Like that, so I could take a drink during the show, so I could soothe my weak little, my little boy voice. Because sometimes I get dried out. And I noticed the stream before that, I kept wanting to take a drink, but I didn't have the chance. I couldn't do it. So I established drink drops. I stayed extra hydrated that episode, and it ended up biting me on the ass. So I just wanted to be clear that at the end of the episode, in which I established and also took multiple drinks, probably finished 2 cups. At least I had a cup of coffee and a big old jar of water, because I'm white trash. Florida raised. That's what I drink out of. Mason jars. White trash. What's up? But that's the problem. Is the fact that if I finish that, then now that's all in me, and it's got to come out. So what do I have to do? End the stream. Instead, what I do, now what I have is, now not only do I have drink drops established, but I have piss songs. Songs that are about as long as it would take for me to run downstairs, take a piss, and run back upstairs so I don't leave you guys with nothing. Like hold music. These are songs that I've created. Karen's asking to join. Come on in, Karen. These are songs that I've created that are of my own, so I have the rights, and I can just play them, put up a little screen, and I will be right back, and I could piss. So now I have that established because this incident, when you soil yourself in your own home, Karen, as man, woman, child, anything, hold on, let me turn, sorry, I had the volume down. There you are. Sorry about that. Anytime you do that in your own house or even in the vicinity, much like Ian was talking about, where you like, oh, you're an eyesight, or your body just knows like there's no hope for us. This is it's go time. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things of like, why did you wait so long, you idiot? It's just right there. And I pissed myself like standing in front of my toilet.
I wasn't even home. I wasn't even close to home. I was in a very public place.
What happened? Okay, all right. So Karen, on the phone. How do you pronounce your last name, by the way?
Kunik.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I feel like that's how it's said, but I don't know. You've been here for word of the day, probably. You know that I don't know how to speak oftentimes, so I can't pronounce or word. You know, words are hard with me. But Karen is a great local comic here in the Harrisburg comedy scene. If you ever see her, I mean, if there's ever performances ever allowed ever again, or if things happen, you know, if the world goes back to even a little bit kind of like it was, check Karen out. But for now, let's hear your wonderful piss story. What happened?
Okay, so I was pregnant with my third child, and I had two.
Oh, you also went to the. You also have what? Like it's like how many?
6.
100.
6.
6. Got it.
6. Okay, so I went to the doctor in the morning for my baby checkup, and then I grabbed a iced coffee on the way to baby story time with the other kids. And I was like, okay, I'll drink my iced coffee and I'll go to baby story time. We got to the library. I went to the bathroom. We sat through story time. I got back to the van to put the 2 toddlers into the minivan. Mm-hmm. Have you ever put toddlers into car seats?
I don't think I've put a toddler in anything except for its parents' arms. I just go like this.
Okay, so it's a process. So halfway through putting the first child into the seat, I realized that it's not good. I've got to pee. And like when you're pregnant, it hits you. It hits you so fast. So anyways, I start to realize I'm like grabbing diapers out of the diaper bag, trying to see if I could pee into the diaper because there's no way I'm getting back into the library to pee again.
Are you trying to do like so? What I try to do is a classic move. Is I try to do like a dam almost. I just try to like place my hands in front of it and just like pinch or grip or do something, anything I can to like. Is that what you're trying to do, or are you trying to like just like clean up under the floor, like catch it in the
I was just trying to put a diaper under me and go, and it was a mess. I peed all over the library parking lot. It's fantastic.
Like there was a trail.
Yeah, and I just got in the minivan and got the fuck out of there.
Now that's where I always get in trouble. Is I feel like the majority of these luckily don't happen in the home. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's the other side that's usually a problem at home sometimes because it's a misjudged, it's a misjudged fart. Let's just be honest here, Karen. With all due respect, I know you're a mother, but we've all had them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't. I know you said you don't fart. Women don't fart, right?
I don't.
Right.
And when I do, it smells like roses.
Well, let's just. Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Okay, well,
because I'm a lady.
Well, that's lucky. So either way, I always run into the problem of especially having like piss, like just starting to piss and not being able to stop or whatever it may be when I'm driving, because it's always I wait, like it's always just too long. It's never like, oh my God, this is like I am like 20 miles from my house. No. It's always like right after the exit when it says like the next exit's like 30 miles or something or whatever it may be. Or I did it once where I ended up getting stopped on an icy highway where a jackknifed semi truck was like probably like 100 yards away. I could see it, And when I hit the brake, when I started to hit the brakes because I saw other cars stopped, my car did not even stop a little bit. It just started sliding. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to die. And I already had to piss then. Then we got stuck in that for 2 hours. And I ended up having to go, like, this has to happen. And I had a Trenta Starbucks cup. I had a Trenta-sized Starbucks cup that I was like, and I was in the car I was headed to Michigan to do comedy at Munising, Michigan. That's where we were doing it, at a bowling alley in Munising with Zach Hammond. And Dom was with me. So we were in a rental car, luckily, but also I was like, this has to happen. So, but I can't do it with the car. I could do it if it was just Dom, but with Dom and Zach, I don't know. I was like, I'll just go. Let me see if I can get to the woods or something. So as soon as I try to get out of the car, I open the door, and my foot just like starts to slide. I'm like, this is all just fucking ice. So, oh my God. And there's trucks surrounding me. There's no walking path. Like, there's nothing to hold on to, really. Like, so I just kind of stayed against the car, popped the trunk, went up to the trunk, acted like I was going in there to get something, but set the Trenta cup there and filled it 3 times. I had 90 ounces of piss. So also,
see, if
also
Dom was mean like me,
yeah,
you would be a pro at peeing in cups in the car, because I have made my husband pee in multiple bottles because I don't stop. Like, once we stop and the kids have gone, I don't stop again until he needs to get his shit together.
Wow. Yeah. See, I mean, as long as I'm okay with it, as long as I'm not driving. But if you're driving, then I'm in trouble, because if I can't do it and drive, especially on ice. And you know what I mean? And I totally ruined, by the way, I ruined my whole facade. My whole facade was like, oh, I just got to grab something out of the trunk. But I'm sitting there going like, and I'm just like, and you see my shoulders like loosen as it goes, like, oh my, because that's hard enough. But if you get at least 30 ounces out, then you could like pinch it off and go like, all right, throw the cup, and never making a mess, not getting it on anyone's suitcase. It was perfect. It was magical.
If you peed on my suitcase, I would be pissed.
Hey, yeah, well, if you didn't stop, then I would be pissed too, because I would piss on your suitcase. I would mark my territory.
Then you can't travel with me.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're figuring out here. Anytime you need a ride, don't call me. I can't stop. I don't give a shit. I gotta piss. I have to stop. I stop as much as I need to, and it's because of that. But it's anytime I make that stupid mistake. The one time I trust my bladder to go like, you know what? I've been pretty good so far. And as soon as I get past the exit, I'm like, shit, this is not gonna be good. And then it's like a toll road. So I can't, if I get off, I'm going to have to pay a toll twice to, get off and then get back on. And then like all this other bullshit. It's bad news, Karen.
I had a kid, my one daughter is like notorious for having to go to the bathroom as soon as we pass the exit. And when she was potty training, we were living on Long Island, and I was driving to, I think, my sister's house. And we were going through the city, and she's like, I have to go potty. And I had put them in pull-ups to drive because, you can't just pull over in New York City and go potty.
No.
And I was like, nowhere. Baby, we can't. There's nowhere to stop. Just pee in your pull-up. And she's like, no, I'm a big girl. And I was like, what the fuck? This is the time you decide to be a big girl? Like, you pissed in your pants all day yesterday, and today you're a goddamn big girl? No.
Please tell me you said that. Please tell me you said something like that. Like, oh, today you're a big girl. Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure by the end, because it was raining and I got lost and I was in tears. And I remember we were in the Holland Tunnel and she's crying.
And you're just finally like, piss your fucking pants. Just piss your fucking pants.
We got to New Jersey. I pulled over on the side of the road. I had a baby potty in the car. I put a diaper in it. She actually peed into the diaper in the potty. Just like, it was awful.
But that's not that's a fair compromise. We could take that. That'll do. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of those things where.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
She decided she was a big girl at
oh my God.
7:00 at night in the city.
And so did it continue after that? Was that like because that could be traumatic at the point if she was like, this is when I choose to, like, because I know you know, I mean, like, I don't know. I was going to start saying, I know that sometimes, but I mean to say, I don't know how developmentally, you know, that could actually work with it. Also, how I said developmentally like that, I don't think that's right.
She was mostly potty trained at the time, but she still had occasional accidents. It shouldn't have been as big of a deal. And she was just like, no.
It was just the timing of it.
No, like that was beneath her. Yeah.
Okay, good. At least as long as it was the right direction, and it was like, I'm ultimately proud of you, but Jesus Christ, your timing is awful. And that's what we're finding out, especially with the having to go potty after an exit. That's one of those things that, like, my bladder is notorious for failing me, like, just when I see the one sign that says next rest area 56 miles or 100 and whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So, like, I do bladder math at that time, and I'm like, I think I'm okay. Like, and I go, like, but let me really be critical. And then, but just past the exit for that, the current rest stop is when my bladder goes like, you know what? You're right. I do have to piss. And it's like, oh, is it too late? Oh, okay. Well, can we go to that one? Nope. Okay. Well, let's hold it and then you're up at the hands of traffic. And that's why I do so hate Pennsylvania drivers, because if you have to get anywhere, it's you better rely on the fact that you will not get there. Right?
Okay, Pat, how do I pop off of this?
Oh, I will just let you know that...
I don't want to hang up on you now. Please, understand this, okay?
Thanks, Karen. That's how we pop off. You pound off by just typing your feelings into the comments. You ask to join if you want to talk about your piss story. And then when you're done talking or whenever, that's when I pop you off. So there's pounding, there's popping, and there's joining. So you have all the options. You can... I know Charles here, my number one cupcake friend, is here. Also, Lemaire's here. He's also a good friend. Lemaire Lee is here to... I don't know if he's here to talk about his piss story, just to watch other people's piss stories. But it's like I said, it's ultimately driving that I have in trouble. But Karen brought up a great point: is New York piss yourself stories are... I've never bought more unnecessary things than in New York. And I'm not saying like as a tourist. I'm saying because I had to buy something so I could piss. Like that's the amount of like if I had the money back that I've spent on things just so I could, and like just so I don't contribute. Like that's the only thing. I know it mostly smells like piss there, but like I don't want to contribute to that. I want to put it where it's supposed to go, damn it. I'd rather not wear my piss for sure, but if I had the choice, I'm gonna definitely try to keep it where it belongs and not contribute more to a pissy smell of a city or something like that. So if I don't, it's not gonna be like I just go in the wherever, you know, I'm not gonna go in the street somewhere. I don't want to do that. But oftentimes especially driving, because you have traffic as a factor and then also no real hope. There's no quick parking usually. You can't just pull right over because, first of all, if you're not used to that, there's a lot of times there's like, oh, there's a bus spot, there's this, there's that. So either you're paying $30 to park your car so you can piss, or $30 so you can park your car so you can go into a McDonald's and spend $5 so you can use the bathroom. Obviously, Starbucks has a thing, and I know none of this is. I don't know how big of a problem this is right now with the COVID time. Also, how apocalyptic it is in New York at this time. But I doubt public restrooms are a real big worry for a lot of people right now. But that is especially driving, like Karen said, that is a huge problem with New York City, and like having that. Just like I said, if you just didn't judge it right, I feel like most of the time when I get into New York City, when I'm driving, let's say just even from PA, something like that, like I even if I've stopped for some reason, it's like something about going through the tunnel or usually I go through the tunnel, and it's usually right as soon as I'm entering, I'm like, boy, I hope this traffic clears up soon. because otherwise and I hope I can get to my destination. Anytime I get that destination update when it's just like, oh yeah, you're 1 mile away, so it'll take you about 3.5 hours. Like when I get those kind of updates on the thing, I'm like, fuck, I just need to stop. I eventually it did come down to where I started just taking the train in because of these piss incidents. I didn't realize how ruled by my bladder I was. You know those commercials with the little cartoon bladder that's like leading the lady all the way around, like she wants to go hang out with her grandkids, but the little cartoon bladder's like pulling her into the restroom? That's me, man. I might need that medicine, but maybe not. I think I've learned to live with my life with a weak little boy bladder. I used to be a bedwetter. That's probably a contribution to it, but now, for some reason, it just has contributed to me having an unreliable bladder. I don't know if there's a medication for unreliable bladder, but it's not a weak bladder necessarily. It's strong for a long time. I just put it to the test too much. I test my own bladder too much. And that's my cross to bear. That's my problem at this point, because otherwise it's just timing. Like I said, taking the train instead of driving in, it's no problem usually. But like when I do it at home, I'm recording an episode of I'm doing a live stream from my own home, for crying out loud. And then all of a sudden, I realize I have to pee. Also, I had a co-host for a while too. Hey Casey, what's going on? We're talking piss stories. I had a co-host that time. Don was on the show Friday. So I could have, and she even at one point left to go pee. So I could have stopped. I'm just
You dumb motherfuckers.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I am. I can't believe it. So at the end of the show, I realize I have to piss, and like I said, I'm looking at the time and I'm like, I got like 14. At the time it was like 20 minutes. And this is what I do driving. I look at the GPS, I see the ETA, and I go, you're here for the drink drops, but the drink drops betrayed me. I ended up pissing myself at the end of the stream on Friday. That's what we're talking about. I had a co-host. I overhydrated. Cupcake said he'd rather tell you. Charles, if you got a piss story, man, you're more than welcome to pound off live on audio if you'd like. You don't have to. You can tell your piss story through text on the chat if you want, but if you want to join in IGLive, just ask to join through the follow at Baby Mermaid Productions, and you'll see when we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can ask to join through the audio, like I said, or I can see about getting you a Zoom link, and you can join through Zoom on here. Either way, I want to hear about anytime you've misjudged your bladder, anytime you've almost pissed yourself, have pissed yourself, where you had to piss in an unconventional area. That's another thing that happens a lot of times, is misjudging it. I've done it where I was down the street from my house. I knew I wasn't going to make it, and I don't know what it is. It's a mind over bladder at this point, I think. I think that it's mind over bladder, and you have to realize that you're the boss, and just because you think it's going to happen, like, oh my God, I'm going to piss myself. You have to be stronger than that. It's a muscle just like anything else, right? Like, I feel like you should be able to control it. I mean, otherwise, why, like, your mind you can make stronger, your arms you can make stronger. I don't know, can you make, like, your brain stronger? Reading? Obviously, I don't have a strong brain. Everybody knows that. But Karen's pounding off. Also, they were drip stories, full blast fire hose. Yeah, they're not drip stories. No, absolutely. Once it starts, you can't stop it. Can't you bend the penis? No, and that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of times I can't shoot you in. Just ask to join. I don't think I can. I think that's all it has to. If you want to, you're more than welcome. Like I said, I think it just says ask to join. Can I say that? Go live with here. Oh, there he is. Here, boom. There you go. Send request. Ron's here. We're talking piss stories, Ron. How's it going, pal? There you go, buddy.
Yo, what's up with you?
What's up, pal? I was just getting into the fact that like I said, I had a major problem at the end of the stream on Friday where I had a little bit of an incident and I pissed myself in front of my toilet.
How? No, you a grown ass man, bro.
I'm a grown ass man with a child's bladder, Charles.
Nah. You ever wake up with morning wood and then like have to pee and then it goes everywhere?
I sit down. I honestly, what happens is I get I'm not a person who's like, I'm not too, I'm not too, you know me. I'm not too
misogynistic.
I can't think of the word. I got not too much words. Yeah, testosterone. I don't have any of that. Like I'm not a meathead or anything like that. But I for sure like I don't mean to like I can't stress this enough. When I soil myself in my own home, do you know what I mean? Like that's just it's so demoralizing. Ego. Yeah, that's a good point. Ego. Yeah.
You belong in a nursing home.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that's the feeling I get is the fact that like, man, you're supposed to time this better. You're supposed to at least go like I said, mind over bladder, man. Like there's a
You're supposed to take an edit break.
Yeah, if anything. Yeah, I mean, and it's live and it's 2 hours. I think that's the point. Is just I got to get the right beverage ratio to time a day or anything like that. But I've had times where I've gotten out. I misjudged it. I was like probably 3 minutes from my house, from parking and going into my home, or even pissing in my own yard. And I've had to like pull over to the side of the road, hope a cop didn't see me, get out of my car.
That's how you end up on the list if a cop sees you.
Right, and then pissing just like downward in between my door, ending up pissing on my car door, on the inside of my car door, and still pissing on my pants. I've pissed more on myself than I have myself, and I
pissed in my apartment parking lot on people's cars more than I pissed in my bathroom.
Yeah, well, that's a lane too. Backyards. I know John wants to join in around 12 o'clock because he wants to. I know he wants to share. He had a running story where he ended up having to run back to his house or something like that. I think another story. He said at least his favorite. I don't want to give it away, but
his favorite is when he pisses. Oh, never mind.
Uh-oh.
I was gonna lie on John.
Oh,
funny.
I want to.
I heard he pissed himself at a Birds game.
Oh, that might be it. Who knows?
That might be it. If I'm right, I'm a fucking psychic.
That'd be awesome. I will make sure I will make sure that if he tells that story, or I will ask him about it. If he doesn't tell that story, I want to know that story because either way, I've thrown up, after a football game. But I've never like. I'm trying to think of a time where, like, hockey games for sure is a lot of times where I ended up peeing in a. We ended up, my friend of mine after a hockey game looked up on Google Maps, like he was like, yeah, we want to go meet these guys at the bar. They're right here, and that's like he's like it's only like this far. He went like this. It's this far, and I was like,
that far as fuck when somebody says something. That far as fuck.
This was early on to iPhones, and he was the only one of us I think that had an iPhone or at least use it on a regular basis. So I think he definitely pinched it down and was like, look, see, it's just this small. And he was just like, see? And we ended up walking for like, I think it was like 2 hours or like an hour and a half.
Yo, there's no way.
Yeah.
I'd have fought my friend.
Well, I wanted to, but we ended up that night. That night
hit
was
him with a judo move.
Well, at the time I didn't know. So if I would have known at that time, I would have definitely tried to choke him out because it was demoralizing, but also, again, much like driving around in New York or any major city, you can't just pop into a lot of places, even in Tampa. Like, even Tampa is a city still where you can't just pop into a lot of places and just take a piss. So you have to find a place.
You can't do that at McDonald's either. That shit sucks. Yeah, you got to buy something.
It fucking sucks. And it's like, why is it like this? I don't understand. Like, some places you can. Like, and usually if you can in those places, in Tampa for sure, you don't want to be walking around there. I don't want to be walking around there. Let me just say.
My friend lives in Tampa.
Yeah.
She likes it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can piss anywhere you want.
I bet if you're Caucasian, you can piss anywhere you want.
It's still there's no because if you think about it, there's a nice equalizer there, and it's meth. There's lots of people where they're like, hey man, if you're a well dressed white person, Caucasian, probably you're more likely to. But I definitely see what you mean because Tampa is a place. It is a wild place, but
it's a wild place.
The scenic area of Tampa, even when you're walking in Tampa, it's still not that bad. You know what I mean? It's still like I never felt like nervous or anything like that. Like as far as like
you never felt nervous in the hood?
No, I don't. Well, not really. No, I don't know what it is. Maybe I think I'm oblivious.
It's because you're a cupcake at heart.
Maybe that's it. I think that might be it because I feel like I definitely I've talked about it a lot of times. Like I went to middle school and high school both on the south side. I was bused to the south side, and I was like cool. This is it was no different to me. Like to me, it was just school. Like I never thought of it as like, oh, I go to the school on the south side. I go to school. Like I just went to middle school. Like
yeah,
it never.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, and that was honestly, I really do contribute that to me being like I just don't see and that was my obliviousness to like shit like privilege and shit like that where I was just like, what are you talking about? Like. We're all in this together. I thought, like you know
Facts.
what I mean. What?
Facts.
You know?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Pat. You said facts.
Nah, I said facts. FACTS.
Hell yeah! I even got your social media right on the YouTube here. I'm giving you. Make sure you give him a follow. He's a great follow. Charles is wonderful. You honestly you consistently put shit out and I appreciate all of the, even if it is sometimes maybe you sampling some wares every once in a while in different ways, but it's also, you've been out there, you've been thugging quite a bit, and it's good to see, man.
I try. I want to be in the next spelling bee.
Oh, really? Okay. The Christmas one?
If we can like set up like a Zoom type situation or whatever.
Yeah, Manny wanted to be the moderator, so he's going to be coming up with it. And the next one is going to be around Christmas time. Obviously, Friday I think is Christmas Day, but we may do it on Wednesday, which is the day before Christmas Eve. Would you be free that day, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to start I want to try to start nailing it down because Manny wants to moderate it. That's going to be mainly, if not all, Christmas words. And
oh man, yeah. All right, cool.
But we will. If you also want to have any other like side categories or any other words, like categories of words or anything like that, we are absolutely open for it. But the only thing we want to nail down is having somebody to score it and to keep score. Because last time, that was the biggest problem with the last one, was we kind of did it on our own, like as we went along. You know what I mean?
Is there a way we can like record it and like you can edit it for like if you put it on YouTube or something and have like the words pop up at the bottom?
Yeah, actually, I could do that. Well,
so
you're right.
Like
Yeah.
The watchers or whatever, I feel like that'd be like more efficient.
Yeah, we may not do it live. Maybe we would just release that video. Maybe we'll pound off in the chat if you're watching right now whether you prefer to watch the spelling bee live and then I can just show Manny how to put the words up, or Manny can show the word, something like that. Maybe I don't know exactly how. We can try to figure it out. I'll show him how to produce this. Then I'll give Manny as John was given an associate producer credit. I will also give Manny an associate producer, as well as yourself, for coming up with the idea to have the words on the bottom, because that way it's even more interesting. But if we see the screen, then we're in big trouble, because I will cheat if I can. But I can't read too. So
I planned on cheating anyway.
Oh, okay, good. That's wonderful. Oh yeah, well you were trying to help me, and I do appreciate that. But
I was trying to help both. I was trying to help everybody.
You wanted everybody to spell all the words right?
Yeah, and it was wild because I was just guessing at how to spell the word, and it was right.
Yeah, actually, you were. You really. Oh, so wait, you weren't, or that wasn't autocorrect?
Nah.
Charles?
Bro, you know I'm an honors kid from high school that ain't do shit.
You're absolutely
with
right.
my education.
You're right. I would not ever doubt that whatsoever. You will absolutely be welcome on, and we'll start a group chat or something like that, and we'll try to get it all together, and we can do like a Zoom thing. You and John will probably be over Zoom, and me and Manny will be here in the studio, and that way we're also, hey, we're responsible, we're distanced, and then we get to spell, and we'll find out if we'll have a poll or something like that to figure out if people would rather see it live or recorded, because we could just record this anytime at that point, and then we could just release it that day. So
yeah,
or on Christmas Day itself. So it's great. It's been great talking to you. I'm gonna free up the line because I know John wanted to come on around 12 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining the show, dude.
All right, Playboy.
Please come
love
back
y'all.
anytime. I love you too, buddy. Be safe and.
I don't want to hang up on you now. Please understand this. Okay?
I like that. All right.
See you, pal. Oh man, motherfucking toast. Charles Baynard, wonderful man, a great person in general, and very funny. And also, I wanted to just real quick. There was some pounding off in the comments here, and I wanted to get to it real quick before I forgot. We had Casey pounding off here. Hold on, let me take this off the screen. There we go. Production. Sorry. People pissed themselves on New Year's Eve in New York City. There's nowhere to go. It's insane. I pissed in Rite Aid in the vitamins aisle. It was a must-go situation. And then somebody, and also I believe this is Kat pounding off as well. Same ocean, different boats. Hilarious. Avery said fat. That's cool. Hold on. I don't know if there was into something else. But Karen's also pounding off. Plenty of people pounding off, sharing their piss stories. I appreciate Charles coming on. I know John's going to be joining the show a little bit soon. He said around the 12 o'clock hour he wanted to join in and tell one of his favorite piss stories. Charles shared what he thought it would be and also wanted to publicly shame me a little bit for pissing myself in my own home, much like he should, because I'm an adult and I should know better by now. And it wasn't, and again, Karen brought up a point in the Facebook post about this episode when I was previewing it on there. She said, "You don't even have kids. Like, there's no physical reason really, but I really do. Again, I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that I used to be a bedwetter. Like, I think I was just kind of diagnosed with a small bladder. I don't know if that's a real thing. I don't know. I'd have to ask my mom, but I have to say." Unreliable for sure. I am, like I was saying earlier, the person, the and it's usually a lady in the cartoon or in the commercial with the little cartoon bladder that's being pulled into the bathroom instead of being able to hang out with her grandkids. I understand that lady. I identify with that lady now. Sad. It's true. But also, it just means to go to the bathroom a little bit more. It doesn't completely, like, I don't know if I completely can identify with that lady because it does not rule my life. But for me, if I just piss a little bit more, I'm usually good. You know? I don't have to worry about it so much. But if you have a piss story and you're watching on IGLive or on YouTube, you can pound off in the comments. You could type them up there if you want to give us a little story, or if you want to ask to join on IGLive, you can follow at Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram, and I stream along with the YouTube stream. I delete the video in the comments all at the end of this, so you won't see those after the show is done at 1 o'clock or 12:45 if I have to really piss a lot. But like I said, I was prepared this time just in case. Because of Friday's incident, I do have a piss playlist. A playlist that I have queued up here just in case. These are some songs that I produced when I was doing the show Buddha Boys with Chris William. Shout out to Chris William. And so these are some original songs that I have that I can play that are about as long as about as long as me going down, pissing, and coming back up. Hopefully. We're going to see. Maybe I'm going to have to produce more content or more music that will be able to be used for piss breaks, but also hopefully I'll just find the ratio and my bladder strength somewhere within this. The show is growing, and we're always growing here at GDP Live. So please bear with us. If at some point I have to leave to go piss, I will make sure. Also, I have plenty of drops. I have lots of farts that I can share with everybody. I finally got them all organized here, and I know John's gonna enjoy those. So I just hope everybody's enjoying the show. And if there's anything you want to talk about, again, you can always pound off in the comments or shoot off. What did I say? Shoot off. Pound off in the comments in YouTube Live or YouTube, sorry, and we'll go over the playlist a little bit later on. But I wanted to get John's piss story to close out this whole piss conversation, and we'll and we will make sure that we close out with a bang, because I know this is going to be a good story, but I hear there may be a great story as well. Hey, John, how you doing, pal?
I'm making piss right now.
Oh, good. So you are here to share your, quote, favorite piss yourself story.
Yeah.
Which bears question, multiple piss stories? Piss yourself stories?
Yeah, some of not of any note. You know what I mean? Like some are just like, I peed a little bit in my pants and went about the day. I told you when you texted me Friday asking for advice, I started a run 2 weeks ago now. I got a block from my house and was like, I have to pee. And I was going out for like an hour and a half long run. I don't know how it didn't cross my mind. So I ran back and had to pee next to my garage. So okay. Which is
right. The piss stories do entail anything that involve pissing yourself, pissing on yourself, almost pissing yourself, or pissing somewhere unconventional. So these are okay. That's anything in that. And honestly, this may be a 2-parter because we have so many people. We've had Charles share. Charles just wanted to come on to publicly shame me, I think.
I missed the past half hours on a call for work, pretending to do my job. But
yeah, and you're like, now you're pretending to be on a break, but it's really.
I have to go. I have an important meeting about.
My child needs to eat anyway, so I was pissing myself. Right, I was running. But no, that's a big thing is because you go on long, long distance runs. There is a lot of stories of runners either pissing or shitting in places in people's yards, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they're like, "I'm like an hour from my house. I'm sorry."
So I got smart and started doing my loops so that I'm always within a panic run distance to the house.
Okay.
For poop reasons. I don't mind. I'll pee anywhere.
Yeah, peeing is just you can almost do that and run as long as you're
that's the beauty of being a guy. I've peed anywhere and everywhere. But yeah, so now for pooping reasons, I make sure I'm always within no distance from my house.
Yeah, at least where you can do that thing where you it almost looks like you switched your body the other way. You know what I mean? Where you go this way, and it looks like your arms go the other way now, and then you just clenching your butt, and you're just
yeah,
kind of duck run.
And if you look at the best is afterwards, if you look at the tracker from my run, the fastest is always when I have to. It's you achieved blah 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 miles an hour on your run. You've never ran down this street this fast. I'm I had to shit. That was 100%.
Oh, that was a shit
poopy
run.
Related.
That was a shit run. Guess what motivated me? But sorry, you were talking about your piss stories.
So my favorite piss story, it's alcohol related, which I feel like most piss stories are. And it was, I want to say it was senior year of high school or freshman year of college. I was back home at a friend's house that we would always, his mom went out of town all the time. So we would always drink and hang out there. Mm-hmm. I've been in this house thousands of times. I've used every bathroom in this house thousands of times. And one night when drinking, passed out on his couch downstairs, a 2-story house, woke up in just my t-shirt and boxers and was like, I have to piss so bad. Walked past the bathroom, the one that I knew, that was 12 feet from me.
Yeah.
Went upstairs to what I thought was the bathroom, went in. I was like, I'll shut the door, then I'll figure out the light situation. Started reaching around for the light, realized I was in the linen closet, but was drunk enough that couldn't find the doorknob in the 4-sided room I just went into, pitch black 4-sided room. Instantly started panicking. So I started like knocking towels and like bed sheets and stuff off of the off of the shelves.
You're thrashing about in a piss-filled room.
And not even peeing yet, just holding it in.
Okay.
Still holding it in. And it was at the time I wasn't introduced to boxer briefs yet, so it was loose boxers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They were just like essentially tiny shorts.
Hey, as a 30-ish year old man, aren't boxer briefs the best?
They are. Oh. I think my wife's watching. I got really into buying good underwear like 5 years ago, to the point now where I spend like too much money, but it's just so much better. Yeah. Socks and underwear. They're the thing closest to your private parts and your tootsies.
Comfortable socks and comfortable underwear like are two absolute essentials the older you get, because those are the only pleasures you truly get out of life.
Yeah.
Until you obviously create life. But there was a story. So what is your? So wait, I'm sorry.
Wait, so I wasn't done.
You're thrashing about in a possible soon to filled room. Who knows? Let's find out.
And I'll say this also in the room of my friend at the time. I don't really talk to him much anymore. His older sister was the girl who, when we were in high school, was like everyone was obsessed with her. She was like the goddess of the school. So I was like, all right, this is embarrassing. I'm knocking all their towels off. Still hadn't found the doorknob. Sheets, towels, everything all over the ground. So my bladder just gives up, and I just start peeing myself.
Oh, no.
And I am very drunk to the point where like I can't mentally stop myself. So once that floodgate opened, so now I'm not soaking just myself. I'm also peeing all over all of their sheets,
all
in
of
their
their
house,
linens,
all of their towels, everything. And this is like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, oh my God. So finally I find the doorknob. I'm already done peeing at that point. So I'm like, there's no point in me bringing this into the hallway. I just finished in there. Like, so I go into his room, I grab a pair of shorts, I put them on, and I was like, now I just look at the floor of this linen closet, and I'm like, everything is soaked in Keystone Light covered Vlad piss, like just the worst.
And
most like 20-year-old piss.
And just warmer Keystone Light, let's be honest. Just warmer Keystone Light. That's all it is.
Just Keystone Light out of the can, essentially.
Yeah, that's all it is. Room temp Keystone Light, maybe body temp Keystone Light.
I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, all right, I guess I have to do laundry now. So I just scoop up all of their stuff.
Still drunk.
Covered
in piss.
Don't really know how to do laundry. I was like 20, like a freshman in college. I'll throw it all in and put some stuff in.
So this is usually what they use, right? Like this stuff, the dish soap or whatever? Or?
Yeah, I'm throwing bars of like Dove soap.
I got to bleach these because it's really pissy, so.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
It's color safe. It says it's cool for colors. You can just pour it on it. It says it's color safe.
I mashed their entire linen closet into one load in the washer and just pour like half a jug of detergent in there. Right as I'm about to hit start, I hear the front door open, and their laundry room's right near the front door. It's his older sister, the girl who I said we were all obsessed with and in love with, comes in, and I'm in like, I think I took the shirt. No, I still had a shirt on. Didn't get pee on the shirt somehow. That was impressive. In her brother's shorts, doing laundry at her house, and it's like 4 a.m. And she like just walks by, looks at me, and gives that look of like, do I even ask? And I was like, hey, how are you? And then she just continues on to me doing the laundry. I did the laundry. I didn't put it in the dryer or anything. I just gathered some stuff and left and was like, hey, you got a load of laundry you really need to put in the dryer when you wake up, basically. Yeah.
So do you think that you did so my biggest issue when I was drunk, at least, and there was incidents, whether it be of the vomit or any kind of bodily fluid variety, I would oftentimes I would be stuck. I would think I had cleaned my mess up, and oftentimes found out the next day I did a terrible job of cleaning it up. So not only did you do probably a bad job of overloading the washing machine, but also do you think there was also mess in the closet?
There had to have been towels and sheets I missed. There was still stuff on the shelves that I definitely had to piss on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But you're like, they're only going to notice this stuff. They're going to think that was already pissy.
Also, it was a carpeted floor, so there's pee in that carpet. Yeah, I talked about this on Rob Cruz and Cody Wright's podcast recently.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've cleaned up vomit and shit a lot of times in my life. It wasn't until we had a kid that I realized I've never done it sober. Like until now. And it was always that thing where you're like, "Ooh, I cleaned that up perfectly." And then you walk downstairs and it was like, look, Big Daddy, you just see newspaper laid over top of puke. And you're like, that was good enough for today, right?
And that was you until like a couple months ago.
Until 2 months ago.
Yeah,
I was like,
literally.
Now I'm like, oh, I see what it really takes to like clean shit off of things now. Like,
this brings me to debuting my newest and favorite drop, and I think it's going to be your favorite drop.
Nice.
That's all me, baby.
I love it. That's original audio?
That's all original farts here, my friend. This is a treble fart.
Did you splice the pee and the fart together, or was that one recording?
This is all one. This is me pulling the phone out of my pocket, opening the recording app, and then holding it still. And you hear that? That's a nonstop perfect stream, never hitting the floor. Not even the side of the bowl.
You sound like an audio engineer at work right there.
Right?
That sounds like you were in a sound stage.
Great Foley work. This is guy pouring piss into a toilet and then farting.
I think you got a future in just bodily function Foley work.
This one's entitled Classic Fart. I mean, because that's,
that sounded like a mouth fart.
This one's Sharp Fart.
Sharp fart.
But that one was entitled Piss Fart, and I saved that specifically for you because I know you would appreciate it. So if that's your favorite piss story,
that was my favorite one, and I think I need to work on how to tell the story because it was really fun.
That was picturing you thrashing about in a closet and then giving up and just pissing,
just standing there. You're just defeated,
and I would assume probably crying or saying some kind of expletive out loud like "fuck," and it just going like
it was a lot of
like the waterfall.
No, led to.
Oh man, and that's what I'm saying is like. Putting it there is where that story is, and I feel like you do that, but like getting the punches down or the tags down, I feel like that's where the real fucking the genius is. But
I'll workshop it.
I want to hear. There was a story. So that's your favorite piss story. We've heard a story about you almost pissing yourself and pissing in an unconventional place, but I heard from motherfucking Toast himself that there is a pissing yourself at a Birds game story?
No. I think he's just saying, I mean, statistically, I'm an Eagles fan that has been blackout drunk at a lot of Eagles games.
Yeah.
So I probably have. No. I think Charles is making that up. Wait, did he give like specific details?
He didn't want to give it away. Maybe honestly though, sometimes he does get his white people mixed up. Sometimes he does. So maybe it might have been a different John that he knows or a different person that he. But I know I did not piss myself at a Birds game, so I don't know if you did or not.
I mean, I haven't pissed myself.
Almost?
I've not. Oh yeah, almost. I mean, it's any sporting event where you're mid row and you've drank 14 beers before you went in. You're like,
and you've already gotten up twice this quarter to piss.
Oh no, I peed at my seat before. I took a knee and peed in a tall boy beer cup.
You took a knee, you un-American mother. No.
It actually, the pee voids it out.
No, I was going to say.
It was during the national anthem too.
Was it really?
No.
Oh, I was going to say. Bad timing. Like I honestly would have to be a person that would be like, all right. Kneeling is one thing. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But pissing during it, like, man, just go to the bathroom.
Like, peeing at Eagles games has always been like an art form.
I don't have any. By the way, I have no objection with kneeling during the national anthem whatsoever. But I think that would be hilarious if that was around the same time that was starting to heat up. If you also happen to be a guy that took a knee just to piss, like, you're like,
no, this is pee related.
You have no idea what this cause is about, but you also are pissing all over it right now.
You have to salute with the other hand.
Like you have to go like, I don't know what side I'm on right now, but I don't think anybody's going to support this.
I think both sides are going to beat me up for this.
I'm in big trouble, guys.
Eagles games are interesting though. I've seen, and I may or may not have partaken in a lot of times of like anything in the bathroom is a toilet at an Eagles game. So,
like New York City,
trash cans,
yeah,
behind doors, sinks. I've peed in a sink at an Eagles game before. Wow. The lines get, because you don't. It's not like baseball where you can come and go like in between innings. It's you don't want to miss any of the action of football because so you got to time it out where you're like, all right, there's a minute left in the quarter. I'm going to go now for the rush. You get there and it's still 12 people deep, and I also hate that moment too because that's always when everyone thinks they're funny, that they are their funniest.
Yeah.
Because everyone always cracks the same jokes of like, someone's always like, where's all the women? Or where's the bitches at?
And then you're like, hey, buddy.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
And stay off my side.
Stay off my side.
The only thing I've ever seen that was funny there was, and this was, I think, my first introduction to adult pee humor. There was two guys like peeing two urinals across, like there was a buffer in between them of like two other people, and they knew each other. And the one guy's like, "Hey, Dave, how's the water?" And the other guy's like, "Cold and deep." And I was like, "Oh, that's a big dick joke." Okay, that's a big dick joke.
Oh my god, cold and deep. That is a.
I remember
like
funny 12-year-old me was like, "That's comedic genius right there. No one's gonna top that."
I was gonna say the only time I've heard something similar to that, but it feels more original somehow. I don't know why, but and it was just as funny to me in the moment. I heard this when I was not a young lad, but just probably, I think it was probably like 4 years ago. It was since we moved up here. We were we were at the movies or something like that, and I went to the public restroom or whatever, and it was like, and it was perfect too. We all had the proper etiquette, like one urinal, one separated us. Like we already were social distancing. Like that's everybody says like this is where social distancing started. Social distancing started in men's public bathrooms without glory holes. The ones that don't have glory holes, that's where it started because you're supposed to keep a stall or a urinal in between you every time. So that right there. But it was two guys came in. They were here, one in between them, another one, and then I was at the end. And then and the guy goes, and they go like, he's sitting there, "Oh shit!" And he goes, "What?" And his buddy like reacted, and it was perfect because like he fell for it. It feels like this happens before. This has happened before. He's got people with it before, but he goes, "Ah, shit!" And like he's looking down, and the guy goes, "What?" He goes, "My dick hit the inside of the bowl again." He's like, "Now I'm gonna get AIDS." It was one of those things of like being perturbed of like this thing of like, boy, oh boy, this stuff is cold. I wish it wasn't so deep too. Like it's like complaining about it, complaining about how long your penis will never get old, and I will never. Maybe I'll never mature, or it maybe never gets old. But I feel like you're usually hearing older guys tell those jokes, and especially if you can introduce young children to it as early on. I feel like that's how we can get this to live on, you know?
That's if you ever have to bring – I brought my nephew to his first Eagles game 2 years ago, I think, and it was the last game of the season. It was like 4 degrees out, and he was like, "I got to go to the bathroom." I'm like, oh, I have to like mentally prepare him before we go. I'm like,
right. I'm
prepping. I'm like doing the talk like, "Listen, you're going to hear and see a lot of things in here that – yeah. One, don't tell your mom because like this is.
You get down on a knee and then you're like, "Son, I need to tell you something." No, stay here. Stay here.
Using him as a decoy.
Hold on, Uncle John. What are you doing with that giant?
And the worst part is at that age, I think he was like 6, maybe 6 years old. He is like. Pea height. He's like dick height to everyone in there. So he's seeing this thing in a way uglier angle than anyone else.
Are you suggesting a stall at that point? Like, are we at that point in society now where we want to make sure we're like, you know what? I need to protect his youth as much as possible. Let's go to a stall.
Or I even thought to like find like a trustworthy mom that wasn't crazy drunk in Eagles game, which is rare. If you get a woman at an Eagles game, they are hammered.
Yeah.
But I thought like, can I find somebody to be like, can you take him into the women's room and let him pee in the stall in there. But that might be the women that are at an Eagles game and are pissed drunk, that have been drinking all day, might be worse than the
I was gonna say, like, go into the women's restroom and it's like, oh shit, my dick hit the inside of the ball. Oh, I like.
Yeah.
I've
also seen too, though, and I've seen this at bars, but the bold move of like a woman just walk past a men's line into a men's room, go into a stall and use it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of bravery that takes, but also no guy was like, no, you can't do that, because every guy in Eagles game was like, oh, there's a girl in here. Like, this is where I meet my wife.
Yeah. Whoa, I liked her style. Like, everybody's like impressed by it.
She rips her shit in the sink and she's like,
yeah,
see you, boys.
She like kicks the door open, sits down, and just like,
yeah.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! She's discussing play calls and stuff.
She gets up and like, no, TP, just shakes it off and just like walks it, like pulls her pants up and walks back out.
She rips a Cowboys hat off of somebody. She's like, thanks, nerd. Like, wipes herself with it. Some guy's like, that's where I met my wife.
And that's where I met your grandmother. That's where I met your mother.
Yeah, that was the original plot to How I Met Your Mother, but they're like, I don't think they're ready for this.
Oh, Casey says here, I was flagged on my 21st birthday for pissing in the men's room. I had no idea. Oh, see, now that's funny too, because I think that's, then you should just like, you're drunk. Like, give them a mulligan, like just one, like,
yeah.
You get, like, I don't know how you get flagged unless you went in there multiple times, but if like, it's still a bathroom. It's not like you went into the men's like break room and just started pissing on a sofa. Like, you went into the men's restroom and you pissed. I don't understand why that would be a problem.
She didn't state that it was in a toilet. She just said she peed in a men's room.
She did say 21st birthday too. So most likely there, at least I know around a lot of my birthdays, there was a bathroom and a sink somewhere nearby, hopefully, because there was going to be a lot of activity coming out of, you know.
There's always talks about that too, where I worked in enough bars and I was a bar back at a college bar in South Jersey here. Women's bathrooms at a bar are 20 times worse than a men's room. Like, it's disgusting when you go in there to clean up. Like, I don't know. I've also at the same time had to empty out. I will say, I always threw these out, but maybe don't drink out of pint glasses at really busy bars, because there's been, I'd say, more than 20 times I'd go in there and on the back of the toilet, someone left their pint glass and some guy was like, oh, perfect target.
Perfect.
And just filled it with piss.
And there's like gum and cigarette butts and shit like that in there. Like, you're like, come on, man. Why
are
you doing
I'd
this?
like to think that every bar back in America throws that glass out for the safety of the people, but I feel like most are probably just like, wash it off.
We got a sanitizer. We'll just dump it in the sanitizer. And you're just like,
but women's bathrooms were disgusting when I bar backed.
But I think
the urinal should have been my indicator, Casey says.
Yeah, the urinal should have been my. But
while she was peeing at a urinal somehow.
That would have been If you
what's this new toilet?
Yeah, but also, what if like, because it's kind of perfect if you're drunk and a lady, you know what I mean? And a lady, I like how we say lady and a lady. If you're drunk and you're a lady, go use a urinal, because you can have something to hold on to, and you can like hold yourself there and like kind of like brace yourself against the wall, so it's not spinning. I feel like if you're sitting like motionless, if your feet are flat on the toilet or on the floor and you're sitting on the toilet, you're going to want to close your eyes. You're going to do this, but like this, you're like strapped in. You're almost like Yoda on Luke's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, really, honestly, are you that concerned with wiping? And you can almost do like a little, it's almost like CrossFit, because you could do a little pull-up too. Do little pull-ups while you're pissing.
You're doing dips in the stall on the handicap bars.
You know, a little.
To tie it fully in with hacks, peeing on the golf course is a beautiful art form in itself.
We've never done it ever on the show, obviously.
If you watch the intro to every single show, you put a clip of me ripping a hot squeege in there.
Woo! Good arc on it. I was just impressed with the arc, really. That was the thing of...
I was really concerned by episode 3. I was like, wait, could you see my dick?
No, don't worry.
Because I did turn aggressively.
That was the thing, was I made sure, and I made sure in the sense that... Like,
you watched it enough.
I wasn't looking for your dick, but I was like, I want to make sure I make my buddy John look good here. And I wanted to get a good, powerful arc to make at least see, like, either they can see that you have a strong urethra, or Like, there's nothing wrong with my dick. It works fine.
It pees so good.
You got. I mean, you have a child to prove that as well. But and not that
peeing and making a kid also go hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the
Pat,
same.
I'm here to tell you about how the birds and the bees work. Pee is not involved most of the time.
Hold on a second. So you're not using your pee at all when it comes to making a kid.
Took me a while to figure that one out.
But
as soon as I cut pee out of the scenario,
but it's still the same pee hole. Yeah, and then, once we cut pee out of the whole framework, then we're like, we're cooking with fucking oil now, baby. But yeah. So
but peeing on the golf course is a weird art form because you have a lot of people that they'll walk up to like the tiniest thing to hide behind. I need to find like woods. I have friends that will just go up to like a bush that is knee high. I'm like, that's not doing anything. It's not guarding you. In golf, I mean, you've seen it. People can see you from every angle almost all the time.
I didn't realize until you pointed out actually that how much you can see the other holes from the other. Like, so you could be at the last hole and you're like, holy shit, that's the first one right there. Like, what? We just drove past the first one and the third one and it's like mini golf. It's almost the same as mini golf because you're just like, oh, all of the holes are just right. If you looked over the like, I didn't realize this. Maybe I'm the only ignorant one to golf like this, but I didn't realize how fucking condensed it really was, even for like a full golf course like that.
Yeah, well, especially that one. That's cut into a neighborhood in the woods, so it's like very condensed. Right. I mean, you saw me hit that guy's house.
I'm going to share that.
His house, apartment.
I want to share. Yeah, exactly. His house, and he got out of his fucking tire swing like an adult and fucking goes, "Hey, you're supposed to say 4." And then John bitched out. But watch. I
want to pee on that guy's swing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did. I bitched out.
But it was
100%.
But it was a good. You acknowledged it though, at least. So
yeah.
But it's I want to share that. I've been wanting to share the hacks playlist again because we're getting ready to start filming on season 2. And again,
somehow it's 33 degrees here today, but we're gonna figure it out.
I said that earlier. I was like, if we can figure out a day where we won't freeze to death, we might try to figure out maybe a driving range because we know that we have the heaters. They were a problem last time because it wasn't cold enough. Now it's cold enough to use those heaters.
Right.
It's outside. We can all wear masks going there. Blah blah blah. So maybe we'll figure something out. If you want to be a guest, pound off in the comments. If you want to be a guest, contact John or I about being a guest on Hacks because we're
looking for someone to pee their pants on an episode this season.
Right. I'm starting to get a feeling, right? I don't want to risk it, but I'm starting to get a feeling like it's going to be close, but I think I can make it, and I want to make it till 1:00. So if I can, John, speaking of the Eagles as well, I want to just give a quick update on the what has now become the Contenders playlist, the playlist for everyone.
Cool.
A playlist that you can play at any single event, and hopefully nobody will be offended. But I've made the public playlist. It's I'm going to have it in the comments or in the description below in the video here. I've shared it on Facebook. But if you want the link to the playlist, the Ultimate Contenders playlist. And I just wanted to give some updates for some additions and some eliminations, and also some new what was that? Considerations. What was that?
That was Baby Mermaid Spotify page is open on
awesome.
my probably 20 tabs I have open. So
the Eagles are now up for consideration. Somebody brought them up, and I was like, maybe. I don't know if
the football team? Good, because we're not good at football, so we might be good at music.
Or maybe it's just Eagles. I think they're just Eagles. The guy that
I think it's just Eagles, yeah.
The Joe Walsh vehicle. So we're gonna try that out. But I wanted to give some added and some eliminated. Added to the list. Personally, I added to the consideration and then made it very quickly to the contenders list. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was a fucking slam dunk, dude. 10.
Yeah, that's some slappy boppers.
Slappy bopping perfect songs. Even one of the ones that I didn't know, I added to my playlist because I want to hear this. My personal playlist. I want to hear it all the time. I love that song.
What song?
I don't know. I don't know the name. John, I don't know the names of words. You know what I mean? Like I don't know words.
I don't know the names of words.
You know when I don't even know the word. I tried to say it earlier. I think is synonym where it's two words they mean the same thing.
No, synonym is like another meaning for something, like a sofa and a couch. Those are synonyms for each other.
Yeah, that's what two different words for the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm listening, dyslexic.
I said that I did an episode last night. We streamed on Andy's Twitch, but it's on the playlist now on Baby Mermaids Productions on YouTube. So check it out. What about with Andy and Pat? We did 4 Years Strong, Rise or Grind Trying.
I do want to listen because I want to hear your take on it. I love that album,
dude. I think this is our best episode. I am not exaggerating whatsoever. We also did a bonus McRib video that will be coming out. My McRib review, and next week or the next episode we're gonna have Andy's McRib review. So check that out. But I was talking about that. I said a synonym is because I said is all time low. I said is all time low a day to remember. And I said, because I don't know if they, and like how I asked it, he loved the fact that I was like, I said, it's basically a synonym, right? They're the same, two different words for the same exact thing. All time low and a thing to remember or a day to remember or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what the fuck they are. Either way, check out the latest episode because I just learned what synonym means and I just taught John what it meant. So, but I wanted to say Earth, Wind & Fire, slappy boppers all around. Rod Stewart was added to the list.
That was my suggestion.
Yep, he's in there. The Beatles, that's another slam dunk. That was
Never
like, oh yeah.
No. I was when I saw they weren't on there, I was kind of like, they're almost too easy to throw in.
It was
like, I love the Beatles.
To me,
it's almost like too easy of a thing.
To me, I would say this.
Same Michael Jackson for me. I'll say the same thing.
Yeah, just as easy. All three of those are just as easy. I don't think anybody's going to be moving the Beatles, Earth, Wind & Fire, or Michael Jackson anytime soon from the contenders list.
Right.
But because that's why I made it public. I want everybody to listen. Give me your feedback. If you think, because Andy was letting me know last night, because I added Metallica is on the list, but he said, I think that might take people out of the party. Some certain songs on the top 10 list may like distract you from a conversation or take you out of the moment. And I was like,
and it can be in a good way too, though.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying.
Metallica's not background noise.
Not necessarily. Some of it is. Some of it absolutely can be. But like, there's parts where you're like, oh, I love this part. And I think it's almost there as a good like safety net for if there ever is a lull in a conversation, you can be like, oh, it's this part. I love this part. I have Fleetwood Mac on the list as well, Karen. That is one of the ones that has been added to the consideration list. So if I will,
where does Hall & Oates sit? Are they still?
They're on the list.
Oh, good.
Their list.
I'll argue that they're the best band you can put on and never have anybody be like, oh, turn it off.
Okay.
Like,
well, we'll find out.
That was when I used to bartend a brunch, which putting Hall & Oates on at a brunch is the whitest thing you could possibly do. But their station on, was it, I don't know if it was Spotify or whatever, would get you like, it would get you them, like Lionel Richie, good Michael Jackson. So like everything branched off of them.
Lionel Richie.
I never once had one person be like, can you turn this off? Like it was perfect brunch music. I'll say that.
So I'm going to add Lionel Richie to the consideration too. I don't
know if he has 10 though.
We'll find out.
Is it still 10 songs?
I think featuring and or I guess production. Like if he gets credit for it, if it's on his list,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like that counts.
Yeah.
So, but I will say so two more additions. Van Halen. I feel like that was pretty simple. I feel like either you're gonna have one person that has a strong feeling maybe one way about it. I think either way it's gonna spark a good conversation. Like it might be like if somebody's like, no, this is where the beauty of it is, or blah blah blah, or they suck, or this is why they suck, or this is why they. It's gonna be, and it's not gonna be confrontational because I feel like you'll have equal parts of either thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then last edition and a new, probably favorite band of mine. I think. I don't think I realize how much I love this band, and this is exactly what this playlist is for. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh yeah.
It's all my favorite parts of Queen.
Yeah.
It's every part.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
that's all they are. Listen to their 10 list, and every one of them is a slappy fucking bopper, dude. They slap.
I
they
love
bop.
that term so much.
They're bopping. They're slapping. I mean, if you're like, hey, granddad, why don't you get with the times? These are slappy boppers from 100 years ago that I knew basically all the songs already. And again, any one of the ones that I didn't recognize, I'm like, this is a slap bop.
Mr. Blue Sky Alone is the greatest song. So I was always, anytime I could pick a walkout song for stand up, it's always been Hall & Oates, Make My Dream Come True. Mm-hmm. the one time somebody was like, oh, you should try. One of my friends was like, oh, Mr. Blue Sky is the best song to ever come out to. It was going to be at a weekend that I was hosting at Church of Satire.
Mm-hmm.
I get down there, and here it's Scott Cease's walkout song for stand-up. And it is like it sets the perfect tone for no matter, because you could go out and have Mr. Blue Sky, which is like super happy, boppy, and uplifting, and tell a super depressing joke to start your set. And the juxtaposition is so incredible. Or you can go out and just be a goofball.
It makes it a lot easier
feed off
for
of
you.
that.
Yeah, I love that, and that's what a true good, like, if somebody gives me the option, like, I don't necessarily need to have like entrance music or walkout music or whatever, but if somebody asks me, I definitely have a preference, and it's usually Superstition by Stevie Wonder, or a couple. There's like 2 songs that I can't remember. I don't even, and it was like my number 1 song of last year on that Spotify thing, where they let you know, like, oh, this is what you listen to. I can't remember the fucking name of it, but it's hold on. No, I want to look it up just because I want to try to say it, because it could be a word of the day almost.
That would be another great playlist of just
songs I can't
top
pronounce.
potential. So my friend and I always text each other on best potential walkout songs. Ever since when we were in high school, we were allowed to pick our songs from when we walked to the plate for baseball.
Manchasm. Manchasm. Manchasm.
Never heard of it.
I'll share that.
Future of the Left. Never heard of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna share that on the live feed actually real quick. Will it show up on mine? It probably doesn't. Yeah, I'll actually, you know what? I'll share that I'll share it in the comments on the YouTube thing, or I'll share it in the description. But that's the name. That's at least how you spell it. And that was a song that like hyped me up. Like that's a true thing where you don't like, it kind of puts you in the mood that you want to perform, or like helps set the tone for you. For how you want to do it. Like that's what I love. That's what I love about like a cool, like a funny intro song or something like that, or an easy one like that. Because especially if you can tag it, like you said, do a nice, like, it's almost like you said, a juxtaposition, like misdirection kind of thing of like Mr. Blue Sky. And then you're like, hey, my dog died,
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
And it's either going to make people laugh or just feel so awkward. And both are just what I want to achieve.
But ELO is officially one of
that's a good one.
Slappy Bopper. That's going to be probably my most played band next year, so look out for that. Also, I just wanted to give a quick update of some bands that were eliminated from contention. Unfortunately, Snoop Dogg, Kiss, the Ramones, and Dolly Parton are all probably top 5 bands, maybe, and I would feel confident about it, especially the Ramones, but for the most part, not top 10. They don't have 10 songs, at least
I agree with
right now in Spotify. Yeah. So, one last update, and I just added them to the list. So don't worry about it, Karen. They're on the list now. I did just add Lionel Richie also. So these are the last bit of some more additions that I need to go through to figure out if they are also prime for the list. Lionel Richie, Chicago, Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, the White Stripes. Run the Jewels, Andy suggested. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody.
Run the Jewels beats. Like,
oh, it's great.
When I'm saying, like, if you just had their beats, no one would be like, turn this off.
Right.
It's as soon as lyrics come in.
He also
because they have that one that's in. There's like it's a Buick commercial, I think.
Yeah, there's Black Panther. There's car commercials. There's other commercials. So he was saying,
but I still sing the words, and I think the first lyric is something with bag of dicks, I think, isn't it?
So they obviously don't have the lyrics in the commercial.
Oh, what is it? It's like, picture this: I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lips. That one. But it's that beat. So I'm watching a Buick commercial, and out loud I'll sing it every single time. And I'm like, no, I look like the fucking lunatic that's just rapping to Buick commercials. Okay, well, all right, so they're in there. They're on the list. Sublime. I like them.
Sublime is also on the list. I added personally Incubus. I don't like Incubus, but I think Incubus.
Pardon me. I would like. Hey.
All right. Nirvana.
No.
You don't think so?
No, it's just a stance. I don't get Nirvana.
I don't either, but you can't deny the popularity. And if for some reason if their top 10 is full of slappy boppers from that fucking acoustic album, that they have to make it because you have to play that at the party, right?
I always love saying I don't like or get Nirvana because I love watching people that are like 40 years to 45 years old get really pissed off and tell me that I don't get it. And I'm like, I don't. But then none of them have ever been able to sway me to be like, oh, I get it now.
No, I'm a person who understands that like Pearl Jam and Nirvana are two bands that I'm like, like I might every once in a while go, hey, who is this? If it's like not one of like the ones that I've heard a million times or something like that. And I straight up don't like Pearl Jam. Nirvana is more of the one of like, all right, I got it. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point in my life where I liked Nirvana. Yeah. It Smells Like Teen Spirit Command thing, but it's like, I don't know. There's some people that will die on that hill.
But they're on the list, so I'll check. Right. I'll try it out. And then also the Bee Gees. Come on, that might be up there. And then Sheryl Crow. I was just added by Karen, and the pounding off in the chat. Ian's back. He's probably on his lunch break now. He said, "Run the Jewels, Halloween Wiggle with Stephen Colbert kills me every time." And also, Smells Like Teen Spirit is by far their best song, but it changed the industry at the time. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, so yeah, he's one of those guys. Yep. You got him.
See, he's one of the people that I love. It is such like a fuse you can set off in somebody.
Yeah.
Because if you say you don't like the Beatles,
you fell for it, Ian. Right, how stupid! You fell for it.
Nirvana fans are passionate, but yeah, and this could be an episode. We could have an episode called "Convince Me."
Oh, not their best. Sorry, not their best song. Sorry.
Okay.
Ian. You have to know by this time. I cannot read. You have to know. Yeah,
you always have to skip every other word when you're typing a comment for Pat to read it. I've realized.
Pat, read good or I will say. Those additions, considerations, and eliminations are at least they're getting doubled by our associate producer, and I want you to be the judge. I'll share the playlist as of right now is GDP Live, the contenders list, and that is on Spotify. I will share the link in the comment or in the description for the YouTube video, and for anybody that wants it, I can DM you. Not there, but yeah, there you go. One word each time. Yeah, that's a perfect way to pound off is to say, I know. You should have done, see, is that I know? Or you got to do I know, not their best. I don't like the condescension really, but I like the style. I like the
style like it, but I need it.
Yeah, I like that. So we'll get to the word of the day to close out today's show.
Real quick, can GDP or can Baby Mermaids, can you produce a show where every 2 weeks we do a call-in and it's people convincing me, trying to get people to convince me why Nirvana's good?
I'd be happy for that segment. I'd be happy to have that segment.
Every 2 weeks. We can do different things. I come on, I'm like, I don't get tuna fish. Tell me why it's good.
Yeah. I don't get, just to have like Hey, John, do you like tuna fish? I don't get it. And then
maybe
somebody can explain to me why tuna fish is so good, but I don't.
Lines are open, and I don't get it.
I'm totally down for John's. I don't get it because there's definitely a lot of things, and we need to be educated.
You know I'll start a list. I'll keep texting you a list.
I'm down for it.
I'll duck out and let you finish everything up, buddy. Thanks for having me on to talk piss.
Oh wait, hold on. I got to let you know
because I want to hang up on you now. Please.
You don't hang up on me. I hang up on you.
No.
Yeah, it's gone. No, I hang up on you. I hung up on him. He did not hang up. I hung up on him. Pat's word of the day to close out the show is looks like a fun one. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it as of yet, but Karen's here, so I'm sure somebody has. The word today is RATOON. RATOON. It's raccoon, right? It's raccoon with a T. It's got to be what it is, right? Who knows? But let's find out. Hold on. Oh, I got to find the pronunciation. Ratoon. Is anybody familiar with the word ratoon? If that is what it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Let's find out if that's how you say it. It's a noun, Spanish, from mid-17th century. A new shoot or sprout springing from the base of a crop plant, especially sugarcane, after cropping. A new shoot or sprout springing up from the base of a crop plant. Ah, fuck you! You did know! Hold on. Oh, nope. That's just a picture.
Ratoon.
Nailed it! Ratoon. Pat's word of the day is ratoon. And I do have to pee again, but it's not an emergency yet, so I'm going to close out with this. Very calmly, I am in control of my bladder. I know what I'm doing. Ratoons are baby sprouts. They're plants from a sugar cane mainly. It's a fun word, but it's also, John's got a new one. Opened up my damn trash can. A whole damn family of ratoons was in there eating my trash. I like it. Pinky in the Brain is my favorite ratoon. So it's a baby tune. It's a little ratoon. We'll be back on Wednesday at 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. with another word of the day. You can pound off on IGLive at Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram. Baby Mermaid Productions on YouTube, obviously. Please like and subscribe. And I love you all. Goodbye.